My grandfather, supposedly, this is, you don't know for sure, he had this idea of our home where we lived was right on 7th East. And like if this is 11th, it was quite a ways. And he would tell us about where he worked. I remember going down to downtown to where he worked and just listening to him talk to the other people in the office. Or he'd say, I remember saying, can I get on the trolley? That's the name of like your going
Public transportation.
Public transportation. And so my grandpa was supposed to have originated that. Now, whether he did or not, I don't know. But that's what we thought. The thing that I remember is my brothers, the older ones, helped my dad. And then Bob and I, my youngest brother, we just played around in the yard. And we'd go. And one time there was an infestation of crickets. Crickets are mean, nasty things. And so we had to, my dad said, okay, I want you to take a pan and a spoon or I don't know what is bigger than that, but you go around the little, the
like
little
fence
place and beat on this, because it'll scare the crickets away. Oh, we did. We walked around there and just tried to, tried to get the crickets away. They were eating his whole, his plants and, not plants, but
the
what
garden,
am I saying?
like vegetables and
Vegetable, thank you. And so that was interesting. I remember that so
Did it
well.
work?
Oh, yeah. Not totally, but I remember we were out in the, the garden, not the gardens, the places around, and my dad said, okay, you and Bob stand on it's like hay, and stand on that and it'll help it squash down so it, you can't just have this huge thing. And so that's what we did. And then when we were coming along, he said a swear word, like, go to hell. I don't know what he said, but so we had to behave and do it. When he swore, we said, why did you swear? And he said, because your mother's not here.
Was this your dad?
Yes. And I just remember him when he swore, and we didn't know what to think. We'd never heard our dad swear. And so we just had to behave and stay there, and as he rolled it off, here was a haystack, and we could climb up on it and play, or not, we didn't play, but just sat around on it. And then he said, okay, now that's enough, get off. We've got to keep it from, getting too squashed down. I'll never forget that, because the way he rolled it, tying the ropes on it, and then when the horse pulled it, got around in front and pulled it over, we thought we were having all kinds of fun, and I guess it was not that great, but it was all we could do. I had just gotten acquainted with the person I married. And
Who was? What's his name?
Frank McKean. And he had just come off of his mission in Brazil. And I don't know, it was kind of unusual in that he just had to get acquainted with all of his friends again, and we had to, go to school, and I don't know how to even make it more.
So he was older than you?
Well, he was a little bit, yeah. He'd been on his mission, and that
Was he still in high school, even though he was on his, went on his mission?
He went right from his mission, his school.
Uh-huh.
Then he went on a mission for 3 years.
3 years.
Because they had a 3-year thing then. They don't have it now. They just have it 2 years. But
So was he like 21 when he got back and you were 18?
yes, or 19. So anyway, something in there. I thought it was pretty exciting. I thought it was great.
Were you friends with him before he went?
Hmm.
Oh, you met him after he got back.
And when you met him, you were still in high school, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe the first year at the U or something.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think was so great about him?
Well, he was just home from his mission, and that meant a lot in those days because the war was starting,
Yeah.
and it was quite unusual for us. He hadn't been serving in it. He was just kind of going to school there at the U, and
So he was never called to the war?
he went afterwards. He went to the occupation. I was glad that he got a chance to go and be in Brazil, and then he came home, and he came home with James Faust. They came home together.
Were they friends?
Yeah, well, they became friends. They
Mm-hmm.
just had to meet and get acquainted, and I thought it was pretty wonderful myself.
Yeah. You knew he was the one.
Yes, I did.
John,
Susie, Becky, Nick, Julie, Paul, Billy, Dan, and David.
That's a lot of kids.
I know it is.
And you had him over.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world.
So tell us the dispositions of each of your kids. Like, how were they known? Was John, a shy person, and then Susie was...
I wouldn't say he was shy. He's a good person, and Susie was, she was very capable. She just knew what to do and did it. She was wonderful that way. And let's see Becky. She was a lot of fun for me. I enjoyed her a lot. And then let's see, who's next?
Is it Nick?
What?
Nick's number 4. My dad.
Yeah, Nick.
What was he like as a kid?
I think he was a lot of fun for me. He used to go in the front room and he'd read. He'd read his books. I don't know, that doesn't sound like the greatest thing on earth, but it was. It was important, I thought. And then let's see, who was after that?
Bill?
Let's see, what?
Is it? No, it's Julie.
Julie, yeah. Now, she was very shy. She was really shy and kind of, you wouldn't think it now because she works her head off and is very smart about things. But at that time, she was very shy. And then let's see who's next. Paul, isn't it? Paul, And he was full of it. He was full of it. I'm not kidding you. And then Billy was very businesslike. And then Dan was a sweet boy. He was just a good, kind, sweet boy. And David was a little stinker. He was so young, and he just sort of did his work as just driving everybody a little bit nuts.